Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at how to defeat Quest 3 in Chapter 1 of Ultron's Assault variant. So first things first, this quest has 5 paths once again, so it's quite strange. In this case we had quest number 1 with 6 paths, quest number 2 with 5 and quest number 3 with 5 yet again. So we are going to take a look at each path individually, and first off we're going to start with path number 1 on the left side, and that is limited immunity and cornered path. Now, all in all, 100% power gain cornered isn't the worst thing to deal with, neither is limited immunity. However, there are few annoying fights. Hyperion at the beginning of the map is quite annoying, but it's not anywhere close as bad as the one we had in Quest 1. And then we have this magic, which we are going to have few fight examples for, just because magic's like really stacked, and if you use kind of lower ranked champions, you're gonna eat a lot of limbo damage. And then in the middle, path number 3, we have Masochism path, including the first fight of the quest, which you're always going to have to take, which is going to be Masochism Carnage. Then you have Imbued Spidey, then it's going to be Sabretooth and an Ultron drone, all on Masochism. Now, Masochism in itself is not the worst thing to deal with, especially if you know what you're doing, and at this point, if you're dealing with variant, you should. However, we still will take a look at few options that work great against these guys. Now moving on, path number 2 and path number 4, both of them are aspect of chaos path. And in itself, it's not really the worst path to take. You have some cheese methods, you have some champions that deal with aspect of chaos really well. And you just kind of need to know what you're doing when you're facing aspect of chaos path. And for most part, that node is actually kind of like fairly convenient and often helpful. So path number 2 and 4, both of them have aspect of chaos on. That includes finishing sections of the map. And yeah, we're going to be taking a look at few fight examples, how to deal with this node easier using only your skill and mutant champions. And lastly, we have final path, path 5, with immunity to bleed, basically, and immunity to poison and force of will. Now, in itself, these nodes basically do nothing if you don't use bleed reliant champions. There are 2 Iron Man Infinity Wars basically on this path. However, we're not going to be taking a look at those fight examples because in all essence these are like very basic Iron Man Infinity War fights. The nodes serve no relevance in the fight whatsoever, so basically use whatever you feel comfortable over there. So the quest has global node that is affecting every single path, which is Mystic Ward. Enemy nullify effects have 80% chance to fail. In this case, it's absolutely irrelevant, because pretty much no skill or mutant champions nullify anyways. Honestly, I didn't even know there is a global node after having 100% of the quest, because it doesn't come in place whatsoever. I don't know why it is there. It literally serves no purpose. I don't think there's any kind of like skill or mutant champion that nullifies opponent's buffs. So, but hey, yeah. And taking a look at boss, so that is Skill Drone, and Skill Drone has moveset of Cyclops, so he has beam attacks on level 1 and level 2. They do not have level 3s available to them, and for most part you do not care about any nodes on him apart from one, which is Caltrops, which is the most annoying ones because there is extremely small amount of champions that you can use in mutant class that are in fact bleed immune or can deal with Caltrops. And yeah, so it is quite annoying. For most part, people just use Iceman there. I'm gonna have a small fight example at the end over there just to show how bulky he is, because he's really stacked and he has Caltrops on, so you pretty much have like Omega Red, Iceman, Colossus, probably a couple more champions that you can use there. If you have maxed out Blade can deal with that fight as well if you keep your power to max. But now let's jump on the path number 1, the magic fight. And one really great option against that magic is Psylocke. Now, why Psylocke is great for that? Because number A, she obviously has insane power control, and B, that power control does not rely on debuffs or buffs or any other kind of mechanics, so you can apply it even while she has her limited immunity. Basically, the moral of the story here is bait out a couple of level 1s. At that point, you should still be alive. This is rank 3 5 stars that I'm using with suicide, so my health definitely suffered because of it. But as you can see here, that's it. Magic is power locked. Because when we use level 1, we power drain her. If she is power drained to 0 power, she is not gonna gain any power for the remainder of the fight from us striking her. So perfectly easy fight from here on out. We can just pound at the magic in the corner. Psylocke's having absolutely fantastic time doing a bunch of dashback intercepts here. Magic didn't really want to work with us, but it's fine because at this point her limited immunity has worn off and we can simply parry her and resume our regular kind of rhythm. Psylocke is also in fact really good against that symbiote Spidey on Masochism node just because her power locking abilities do not trigger Masochism, and if you treat that Spidey basically as stun immune, don't debuff him, power lock him, he will never throw a special attack, he will never evade, and you can just finish off the fight just like we did here, largely with backdraft intercepts. Now, I am gonna cut this fight short just because I had another fight example I wanted to record at the same go against her, and that is Black Widow. Now, many of us have Black Widow highly ranked just because she used to be one of the old gods, so if you played pre 12.0, chances are you have a highly ranked Black Widow as a 4-star. And even though Black Widow should be working really well against this magic, unfortunately, because her ability accuracy reduction is only, 75% now or 70%, magic is still going to be getting limbo a fair amount. So Black Widow can work. She's definitely not the ideal option. As we're going to see in a bit, we're going to have that magic trigger her limbo eventually. But for a 4-star, magic still is not... Black Widow is not doing a bad job dealing with this really stacked up magic. So the magic is nearly 30k. We can see we triggered the limbo once and that was majority of our health gone. So you need to be careful of that, but if you don't have any better options, Black Widow can work. And even though this node has limited immunity and cornered, once again Blade can come to your rescue. Now you will have to alter your playstyle. And the way this fight should work if you're using Blade is basically you need to dance about and push her back against the wall and hit her block for the first 25 seconds while limited immunity is active. Reason being is you do not want to be striking her too much because in general you want to avoid pushing her past bars of power because that will deal a lot of damage to you. However, once you can start actually bleeding her, you're good to go because even though the node has cornered on it, you're going to be hardly striking her, so therefore that increased power gain doesn't really kind of matter, and you can get her down using largely your parries, bleed damage, and then throwing in some special attacks here and there. And that is like extremely safe method because not only Blade's danger sense lessens the chance she has to activate her limbo, also the fact that you hardly ever will be pushing her past bars of power, so she will hardly ever have a chance to trigger that limbo in the first place. So Blade, even as a 4-star, is a fantastic option when it comes to dealing with this magic. And with a similar kind of idea, you can also use Archangel. You want to dance about for first 25 seconds while limited immunity is active without pushing her past bars of power. And then basically just use your neurotoxins to finish off the fight quickly. Now, another interesting option that works perfectly against Masochism is Sabretooth if you have Killmonger synergy, because Sabretooth basically with Killmonger synergy completely ignores all of the Masochism stuff. So even if you're Sabretooth with like rank 3 or rank 4, you can still surely use him, and it's going to be a super easy time because it's just a basic fight. Global node doesn't matter and Masochism doesn't matter. So when it's going to come to dealing with Masochism, even a low-ranked Sabretooth is going to be a great option and amazing help for you. Now, obviously, my Sabretooth here is rank 5, just because, well, I had him ranked up, so I can't really show this fight with a lesser-ranked Sabretooth, and my 4-star is like rank 2, so if I could, I would have recorded like a rank 3 footage, but the point still remains, we do not trigger Masochism once in this fight. And yeah, the fight is super basic, simple. There's absolutely nothing for us to worry about. There are absolutely no distractions. We can easily go and fight Masochism as normal. And now let's take a look at the next fight. And next fight is going to be a rank 3 Archangel against Symbiote Spidey. So even though this path has Masochism on it, Archangel can deal with it fairly easily. I am going to have a slip up in this fight, but we're just going to show how easily Archangel can take down this Symbiote Spidey So we trigger Masochism first time on purpose, we do a second parry. At that point, basically we're good to go. We have 2 neurotoxins on, we are completely ignoring Masochism, he's melting away. He is going to give me a full combo in the face. And just to demonstrate the damage that dealt to us, we're at 14% after making 1 slip up, having received a couple of hits. We're nearly dead, so you have to be careful in these quests, but Archangel can definitely help you out in many fights, including the magic fight we demonstrated before. And now another option to deal with aspect of chaos is Punisher. Now Punisher's cheat death mechanic is not guaranteed even at max sig level. I believe it's only at 85%, so you're always kind of playing your RNG. However, for most part it will work, and the strategy as always is simple. Basically let opponent kill you just before your health bar switch, get opponent's health, so basically heal to full and kill opponent. That is as simple as that. And now for the last example of the fights in Quest 3 is the boss, and I'm not going to be showing the entire fight just because it's like super long. But we're using a rank 3 Iceman here, we're using Suicide, so we're not going to be spamming special attacks, but this is basically to demonstrate how tanky he is. He really is an annoying boss just because of the fact that he's like really healthy. Like you hit for hardly anything. And yeah, so this is going to be definitely kind of endurance fight, because there are not too many mutants that can deal with this fight currently anyways. Omega Red, if you have highly ranked, is probably still a good option. Other than that, mainly everybody originally just used Icemans and took freaking ages. But that is going to be about it for Quest 3 in Chapter 1. So in case you missed it, we released the videos about first 2 quests already, and next video in line is going to be about Chapter 2 Quest 1. So if that is the quest you are struggling with, do not forget to hit that sub button, hit that like button, hit that bell button to stay notified, because 2.1 guide will be out soon. Other than that guys, I'm gonna be done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. See ya!